Listen to me very carefully because the Pacific Northwest is about to feel a tremor that has nothing to do with geology and everything to do with the soul of this defense. We are talking about a pillar, a man who has bled for the blue and green, potentially being shown the door in a move that feels like a cold, calculated betrayal of the veteran spirit. This changes everything we thought about the trenches this season. Jarran Reed is on the chopping block, and the implications for our locker room chemistry are absolutely explosive. You won't believe the gamble Schneider is taking. We are building this tribe together, and I need you to hit that subscribe button right now, because we are chasing 1,000 legends to join this circle, 1,000 voices to scream at the top of our lungs when the league tries to overlook us. We need that strength in numbers because the news coming out of the facility right now is heavy. Jarran Reed is more than just a name on a jersey. He is the grit. He is the veteran presence that keeps the young Lions in check. But Bleacher Report is sounding the alarm, and Mo Moton is pointing the finger directly at our guy as the prime candidate to be cut before the season even finds its rhythm. Think about the legacy here. This man has given 11 seasons to the grind of the NFL, a league that chews players up and spits them out without a second thought. He came back to us because Seattle is home, and now we are hearing that home might be slamming the door in his face. It is a young man's game, sure, we all know the cliché, but when you look at the defensive line, you look for a heartbeat. Reed has been that heartbeat through the dark times and the flashes of brilliance. How do you replace that kind of institutional knowledge with just a few $1 million in cap savings? Are we really at the point where $3.9 million is worth more than the man who knows every single trick in the book? I want you to look at the screen and tell me if you are ready to see number 90 elsewhere. This is the raw truth of the business, but it feels like a punch to the gut for every fan who remembers his dominance in the interior. The pressure on this front office is reaching a boiling point, and I am genuinely worried that we are sacrificing our culture for a spreadsheet. Do you trust the management right now? Do you honestly believe that cutting a fan favorite is the path back to the Super Bowl? It feels like a nightmare scenario where we lose our identity just to save a bit of pocket change in the grand scheme of a billion-dollar industry. But wait, it gets even crazier, because the logic behind this potential move is as cold as a January morning in Lumen Field. Here is the raw truth that they don't want you to fully digest until it is too late. The numbers tell a story of a disappearing act that Reed didn't choose, but was forced into by a coaching staff looking for the next shiny toy. In his first year back in 2023, he was a Titan, playing 72% of the snaps and starting every single game like a man possessed. But look at last season. The drop-off in opportunity was staggering. We are talking about a career low of only 398 defensive snaps. He only started 3 games. How can a man lead when he is glued to the sideline for half the battle? It is an emotional pivot that makes my head spin, because you go from seeing him as a cornerstone to seeing him treated like an afterthought. They are phasing him out, and it feels like a slow-motion car wreck that we are all forced to watch. He still had 2.5 sacks and 8 quarterback hits in limited action, which tells me the fire is still burning bright, even if the coaches are trying to douse the flames. It makes me wonder if there is something deeper going on behind those closed doors. Is he being pushed out because his voice is too loud? Is he being silenced because he demands excellence from a unit that is still finding its way? The tension is building, and the narrative escalation here is reaching a breaking point where a decision has to be made. You cannot keep a veteran of this stature in a state of limbo. Either he is a Seahawk or he is an obstacle. And right now, the front office is treating him like a hurdle they want to jump over. It is a disrespectful turn of events for a man who has earned his stripes in the mud and the rain. We are seeing a shift in philosophy that might leave our defense hollowed out at the exact moment we need veteran leadership the most. It is a dangerous game. The second story here is about the monster in the room, and I am talking about 7th-round pick Devin Eastern. John Schneider is calling this kid a monster, and that is high praise. But let's be real for a second. We are talking about replacing an 11-year vet with a 7th-rounder. This is the definition of a high-stakes gamble. What happens if this goes right? Maybe Eastern is the next late-round steal that defines the Seahawks era. But what if it's a disaster? What if we find ourselves in Week 4, getting gashed up the middle, because we don't have that veteran anchor to stop the bleeding? I am trying to be your insider here, the guy who tells you what you need to hear, not just what you want to hear. And the truth is, the redemption arc for this defense shouldn't start by cutting its most loyal soldiers. We have Byron Murphy II taking over, and we love the kid, we love his energy, and we saw his snaps jump to nearly 800 last season. That is the future. We get it. But why can't the future coexist with the past? Why can't Reed be the mentor that turns Murphy into a Hall of Famer? It feels like the organization is obsessed with the new, and they are willing to burn bridges to get there. There are other guys on the roster like Brandon Peely or Bubba Thomas, but do any of those names give you the same confidence when it's third and short and the game is on the line? I am losing sleep over this because I've seen this movie before. We get rid of the old guy too soon, and then we spend 3 years trying to find someone with half his heart. It is a pattern of behavior that worries me about our direction. We are the 12s, we pride ourselves on being the loudest and the most loyal. But does that loyalty extend from the front office to the players? Right now, it feels like Jarran Reed is standing on an island, watching the ship sail away without him. Unbelievable, seriously, I am sitting here losing my mind, because the math just doesn't add up to me. We are talking about saving less than $4 million on a cap hit that is over $7 million in 2026. I have a theory, and it is a secret that only the true diehards will understand. This isn't just about the money. This is about John Schneider wanting to prove that his scouting department can find gold in the dirt of the 7th round. It is an ego move. He wants Devin Eastern to be the headline so he can look like a genius again. But at what cost? You are risking the stability of the interior for a headline. I am feeling a heavy emotional reflection right now because I remember the 2016 draft when we got Reed in the 2nd round. He was the future then. He was the young buck. Now he is the old man being told his time is up. It's the circle of life in the NFL, but that doesn't make it any less visceral. If we are being honest, Reed was still 4th among our linemen in snaps last year. He was still out there doing the dirty work while others got the glory on the edge. To cut a man who is still contributing at that level is a slap in the face to every blue-collar worker in Seattle. I am raw with you right now because I don't want to see this team become a revolving door of nameless faces. We need characters. We need Jarran Reed. The fast-paced analysis of the modern NFL says get younger and get cheaper, but the soul of the game says keep your leaders. I am terrified that we are becoming a team that knows the price of everything but the value of nothing. We are watching a potential tragedy unfold in slow motion, and the 12s are the only ones who can voice the frustration. Is this really how we want to treat our own? Is this the Seahawk way that we've been sold for years? I don't think so, and I think we need to make some noise before the ink dries on that release paper. This all leads to a final, powerful vision of what this team could be or what it might lose. If Jarran Reed is cut, it marks the end of an era of toughness that defined us for a decade. We are standing at a crossroads. Either we trust this youth movement blindly, or we demand that our veterans are treated with the respect they've earned through blood, sweat, and tears. I want to see your fire in the comments below. I am not kidding around. Is this our year to take a leap of faith with the young guns? Or are we being let down by a front office that has lost its connection to the locker room? Tell me right now, would you keep Reed for one more run at glory? Or are you ready to bet the house on a 7th rounder? I want to see the 12s flood the section with the truth. Your voice is the only thing that can rattle the windows of the executive offices. We are a family. We are a tribe. And we do not let our brothers walk away without a fight. If this is the end for Jarran in Seattle, he deserves a stadium full of people screaming his name, not a quiet press release on a Sunday afternoon. Let's show the world that we care about more than just the box score. We care about the men who make this team what it is. This is our house, these are our players, and this is our time to be heard. I'll be reading every single comment, so give me everything you've got. Don't hold back. Let the passion flow because that is what it means to be a fan in the greatest city in the world. We stand together, we fight together, and we never back down. Always compete. 12s.